Chapter 4. I tell Eli about the sparrow, about what Queenie said. Eli starts up laughing like it's the biggest joke I've ever told. He says that a tent is a tent and a house is a house, and there's no need to confuse the two, so I have nothing to get so worked up about. But that tent is all the house I've ever known, so I don't know if Eli is right about that one. I tell the Shakespeare duck that I rescued from Harvey, and he looks me up and down with his little duck eyes, and says that clearly I'm done for, and could I please arrange for someone nice to take him when I'm dead. I tell him that if I'm going to die, I'm sure as hell taking him with me, and there isn't anyone else in this camp who would take the time to talk to a rubber duck. He doesn't say much after that. I tell Harvey too, but he just wants to know what I've gone and left in my bed to attract the birds, and that we already have enough problems with the rats without me attracting the birds as well. I don't tell Ma in case it worries her, in case she thinks it's true. And now it's like those damn sparrows are everywhere, watching me. Maybe they've been there all along, but ever since that one sat staring at me from the top of my bed, I can't stop seeing them. Eli and I are walking the fences, and when I bend down to tie my shoe, there's another sparrow hopping right in front of me and looking at me with its head turned to the side. It's another one! Eli, look! Eli throws his hands in the air. If you mention that stupid bird one more time, then I'll kill you myself to get it over with. He can't say it without smiling, though. Now, if you want to keep those shoes of yours, you'd better start earning them. Come on, Squirt, we've got work to do. There are only 14 pairs of real shoes in this whole entire camp, even though there must be near about 900 pairs of feet. And one of those pairs of shoes belongs to me. My shoes are blue with white laces and some black bits on the side. They were more than big enough when I first got them, and I still have to stuff paper in them to stop them falling off with each step. I'm growing into them, though. Eli taught me to tie my laces, which is something, because even Queenie can't tie laces. If she ever gets proper shoes, Queenie will have to come to me begging for me to teach her how. Eli got me my shoes. He said I needed them if I was going to run packages with him. Package delivery is Eli's business. At first I didn't want to run, not a bit, but then I saw the happy on people's faces when Eli delivered. And I saw the shoes. I gave him my 2 small flip-flops that very day, and he gave me the shoes, and now I can walk anywhere I want without stones poking up through the soles and the hot eating at my feet. Eli calls us partners, and together we trade most of what people want for most of what we've got. People just tell us what they need and what they are going to swap to get it. A shirt for flip-flops, or soap for toothpaste, whatever they want. Eli keeps a stash hidden away, and most mornings we run a couple of packages and keep people happy. When the jackets hand out provisions from the truck, we don't get to choose. You get what you get and you don't get upset, that's what Harvey says. The other jackets you don't even bother complaining to, even if they run out of mosquito sticks by the time you get to the front of the line, or if they give you only 1 bottle of water for each day instead of the 2 like you're supposed to get. Complaining only gets you 1 bottle of water tipped into the dirt, or the rest of your supply put back in the truck. So people come to me and Eli instead. Eli, he keeps all those orders and all those swaps stuck in his head, so no one can find a written down list and get us into trouble. Every so often, Eli gets something for us as well, and we don't have to trade a single thing. He said that's our pay for taking the risk of running the packages all over the camp in the first place. We get toothpaste because Eli reckons having good teeth is important, and I get Ma extra water when I can, and pads for when she and Queenie have their women's time so they don't have to ask the jackets whenever they need to use the toilet. Once Eli even gave me a whole box of toilet paper so that we could use more than the maximum 6 small squares that the jackets give you. I have trousers that fit right without a rubber band to hold them up, and 4 pairs of underwear, which is twice as many as is allowed, and my shoes. Eli and me, we know all the squeeze ways in and about the places where the cameras don't see, and the flaps are loose enough to get you into the backs of the kitchen, and the wobbly wire between the toilet blocks. That's how we get the packages all over the whole camp, and not just all over family compound. Sometimes you can get right up close to the fences to pass the package through, like if you're delivering to Ford compound, which is the place you get put if you need to be kept more safe than usual because someone keeps on hurting you, or if your brain gets so mushed from being here that you keep on hurting yourself. We can also pass straight through to Alpha compound, which is where all the grown men without families live. Family is right in the middle between Ford and Alpha, so our fences edge theirs. Then there's hard road behind us and separating us from the other compounds on the other side. Hard road isn't really a road, but we call it that because that's where all the hard buildings are, the ones made out of container blocks or bricks, like the old schoolroom, which isn't used anymore, or the computer room, or the toilets and showers. But even having hard road right in the middle doesn't stop us. If we need to deliver to the other side, like if we're delivering to Delta, where all the new arrivals go, or Echo, which is another compound where men with no families go, then we have to make a drop behind the kitchens, or reach through the wobbly wire at the back of our toilet block, where it edges up to the back of their toilet block. That's the hardest, and sometimes, if the toilets haven't been cleaned, then you can end up with all sorts on your arms. Eli has worked out how to deliver to every compound there is, all except Beta compound. That's where the jackets take people they reckon are trouble. There are extra fences and extra jackets, and the fences have electricity and the jackets have dogs. The people in there live in small containers by themselves and only get to come out for a cigarette and a walk in the morning and afternoon. Beta compound must just about be the loneliest place on earth. Eli has to keep changing where he keeps his stash. If the jackets find it, then there'll be trouble for sure, especially because sometimes Eli finds a way of fingering extra things from the provisions truck, like when he managed to steal a whole box of underwear. Plan B, subby. You always need to have a plan B. Do you know how many orders we have for underwear? There are people here walking around with more holes than undies and no one wanting to swap. What else could I do? And he was right. That week we ran more packages than ever before. This week the stash is kept at the back of the kitchens, down under where all the rubbish is dumped. As soon as we get there, the rats give us a look, knowing that we're about to disturb their lunch, and I can feel that zipping in my legs that I get every time I'm about to run a package. That kind of excited, scared zip that makes everything feel a little sharper and more real. Eli sorts right through that stench down to the very bottom of the pile. I stand back, my hand over my nose to try and stop the taste of rot from getting in my mouth. Eli reaches into a bag and holds up a shirt tied into a ball. This one is for Peter, over in Alpha. He's going to give you toothpaste, which is to go to Assad and family too. Got it? Got it. Assad, family too. I poke at the shirt, trying to work out what's wrapped up inside, because there's a hardness in the middle. Eli's rule is never open the packages, but there's no rule about guessing. Assad has a mozzie stick, which you bring back here, 'kay? Sure thing. And, subby, watch your back, little brother. Eli says that every time he gives me a package. He always musses my hair when he says it too. Eli used to have a little brother for real, but he doesn't anymore. He still keeps his brother's glove in his pocket though. It's red and small, and Eli says it brings him luck. I reckon he's right too, because Eli has the walk of someone who knows they have luck at their back. I still can't work out what's in the package, even when I'm halfway to Alpha. Alpha has more cameras on the top of its fences than we do in family, but Eli and I found where the blind spot is, right over in the corner where the fence hits the brick walls of the shower blocks, and kind of half hidden behind a couple of bushes. I go to the corner and give the whistle so they know there's a package coming through the fence. I can see Peter walking up to meet me, his eyes all red and puffy from the dust sickness, and I just about think I've worked out there's a box of cigarettes or a pack of playing cards inside the shirt, when I see Peter stop, frozen to the spot. He turns slowly, slowly, and shakes his head at me. I know that look. I know by the way the scared covers Peter's face. A jacket is here. I don't want to turn around. I can feel those eyes burning into my back. Here I was, so caught up in what was inside this damn package that I stopped watching out for who might be watching out for me. I forgot to watch my back. I hate it when I do that, when my brain wanders off and leaves me behind to pay for it. I turn slowly, my eyes on the ground, but I can see the black boots flashing from the sun and the black trousers with the cuffs brown from the dirt. And I can tell from the sour smoke smell that it's not just any jacket. It's beaver. My chest gets all tight, and I start up coughing and trying to suck in more air, and all I can think is that Queenie was right, that the sparrow was a sign of death. All I can think is, I'm about to die.